I'm filming at like a slightly different time of day, and I feel like it has completely thrown off the lighting situation, so hopefully that is not too distracting throughout the video. Hello everybody, it's Kara from Wild Book Garden, and today I'm here to talk briefly about how my 2023 reading and channel goals went, and also share some for 2024. I am hoping this is going to be pretty quick because I think most of my last year goals and my this year goals are pretty self-explanatory, or at least don't require a lot of explaining. So let's go ahead and just get into it. Here is my little planner sheet. I love my always fully booked planner because it does all of the like organization and aesthetic stuff for me. My first goal was to read 100 books in the year. I definitely did that. At the end of the year, I think I was at 274. I think on Goodreads it shows 272 because I have a couple books that I haven't logged yet. But yeah, I definitely hit that. I don't ever like really worry about hitting that, but I always like to keep it at 100 anyway. Then my next goal was the physical TBR challenge that I did with my friend Julia from Shakespeare and Such, and we did a really good job of like keeping up with that throughout the year. And I think that I may have won. The only reason I say may is because, like, you know, both of us have had to, like, you know, enter a couple of things last minute before, but I'm pretty sure that I won. So I feel good about that. We did not, however, do our videos, like, tracking our progress. So that's kind of a plus minus. Like, I succeeded at keeping up with that goal, but I did not do the videos that I was supposed to do about it. And actually, we are going to be doing it again this year. So I will talk about that later in the video. Then for my 12 books, 12 friends challenge, I am ashamed and embarrassed. I only read 5 of the 12 books. There are a couple others that I have started and made progress in, but yeah, I didn't even get halfway, so I know. I am genuinely really looking forward to getting to those books, so I am still going to read them, but I just didn't get to them. Then I wanted to incorporate sort of like other interests of mine into my content. So the things that I mentioned were like beauty or makeup, knitting, which I had already started doing, and my Jane Austen TBR game. And I'm going to give myself 3 checks for this goal because yes to the makeup, yes to knitting, and even though I didn't do the Jane Austen TBR game consistently or like throughout the whole year, I kind of knew that was going to happen, and I did still do it multiple months. So I feel good about that. I also wanted to continue the crafting and reading sprints that I host with my friends Badger Reads and Cozy Reader Kelly, which we have definitely been doing. We've been really loving those. I also wanted to do more of my creative video ideas and or continue some of the like video series, and I think I did do a good job of incorporating a few more creative videos, which was fun. I don't think I really continued video series though, like my recommending books and art, for example. So again, a plus minus. I also mentioned starting my Not a Genre book club, which is going strong. That has been a huge highlight of my reading year. Thank you to those of you who have been reading along with this or just joining in. I still have a lot more plans on like video content to make regarding that. So again, a plus minus, but the club itself has been going great. And then finally, I wanted to read 10 sequels and 10 series finales, and those couldn't overlap. So I didn't really have a lot of like set rules for this that I like talked about, but when I went through at the end of the year and I kind of counted up how many I had read, I did not include ones that I did as part of read-alongs, because I feel like that didn't, not that it doesn't count, but it wasn't like me making an effort to like read sequels, you know? So I read 22 books in series, like sequels that were not the finales, and I read 8 that were finales. So like I thought I was gonna really be able to easily hit that, and I didn't quite get there on that one, but I still think overall that goal is a success. And actually, I feel kind of amazing at like how many of these goals that I hit, or that I at least like worked on, because that doesn't often happen, and it doesn't like bother me exactly, because I've talked before about how for me, like reading or channel goals they're like nice to have intentions. They're things that I already am planning to like focus on or work on, or that I want to pay attention to throughout the year, but I don't do like check-ins. I don't like, you know, track myself as like how much I'm keeping up with it. So it's more about like setting intentions for the year and kind of trusting that I will follow through on at least some of them, or that like because there are things that I already had been wanting to focus on, that I'm naturally just gonna focus on them throughout the year, if that makes sense. But yeah, I feel really good about my 2023 goals. Let's talk about 2024. So same setup here. my layout for 2024. Again, the 100 books is always what I set. I don't anticipate that being a problem. Also, this is not like an official goal or anything. It's more just like plans that are going to continue happening. But our Past It Classics Club is still going, and the Not a Genre Book Club as well. Then we are doing another year, me and Julia, of our physical TBR challenge. I'm excited. We're gonna see who comes out in the lead this year. I don't know if we're gonna try and do video updates again, because theoretically we were going to do that, but like we just never got to it. So who knows? I am going to finish the 12 books challenge. So like the books that I had gotten recommended from my friends last year that I haven't gotten to yet, they are absolutely happening in 2024. I refuse to let that go another year. Then the Not a Genre Book Club and content, that is also, you know, going to continue, and I do specifically want to make an effort to post some of the videos or like recommendations or discussions, because if I'm remembering correctly, I don't think I've done any of those yet, and I have like some filmed and everything, or like outlined, so like I definitely want to, like, in addition to continue to do the read along and the discussions and all of that, which, by the way, the announcement for our first half of the year, that should, I think, already have gone up. I will link that down below. But I want to, like, obviously continue the schedule part, but also incorporate more of the sort of supplementary content that I have planned. Then I have a sequel/series goal, and I am adjusting this based on how last year went. So I'm really happy at how many series I continued, but I do want to focus in even more on catching up or finishing series. So I am saying that I want to finish or catch up with 20 series. We're gonna see. I mean, it shouldn't actually be that hard if I just like pay attention to it, but we'll see if that happens. And for me, I am considering this goal to refer to like books, like either they finished a series or it's a series that is currently coming out, but I am now caught up. Although that doesn't count if it's like the first book in a proposed series. And then finally, finishing off with a few more sort of like content or interest related goals. I am going to continue doing the like tags plus get ready with me videos. I have been really enjoying them. I know some of you guys like them, and it's just like a really nice kind of chatty way to answer tag questions and, I don't know, just hang out. So I'm really enjoying that. So I'm specifically making that video combination something I want to continue doing. Crafting sprints, we are going to keep doing those throughout the year. And then finally, this one is new. So I recently did a video where I did a tier ranking for visual novel, like fictional boyfriends, and it is very niche, but I had so much fun with it, and I want to incorporate more of my interest in like visual novels or otome games. That's something that I've been getting really into and that I really enjoy, and I do think that it is kind of connected to bookish content, because, you know, visual novel, that's part of the name, it's part of the concept, and obviously the vast majority of what I talk about is always going to be like books, but I am enjoying mixing in a little bit of my other interests throughout my content. So yeah, that's what I have on my 2024 goals. Let me know how your reading year is going so far. Let me know how you feel about 2023. Like I said, I am like thrilled with myself, honestly, that I did that well with my 2023 goals, especially considering, again, I am a person who does not check in on them throughout the year. Yeah, so I'm feeling really good about that. I'm excited for my 2024 intentions, and contrary to a lot of other aspects of my personality, I don't tend to stress too much about like reading oriented goals. So that's good, I think. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!